Today is Saturday, April 2nd, and of 2022, and it is World Autism Awareness Day. And yeah, so I've been talking about it recently and thinking about it recently, and written some things. So I figured I'll just read one, the most recent that I wrote yesterday, and just to hear myself read it. And I don't think reads very well, but I don't know. And I kind of wanted to add on to that after yesterday, that today I did feel from the person that I shared a little bit with, I did feel like, well, they weren't sure exactly how to deal with me, or if they had to deal with me differently, or they were approaching a little bit gentler and softer and quieter, and it came off a bit condescending, belittling, and patronizing, which I'm sure was not the intended effect or how it was supposed to come off. Because I like to think that I don't want to be treated differently, but then I need to be treated differently. And I don't mind it as long as I don't know about it or notice. Because when I notice people treating me differently, then I get insulted or offended, and it's like, no, don't treat me any differently. And it's like, but then so it's like a curse of getting what I want and then not wanting it. So anyway, it's just one of those things. And it's like, it throws me into a debate over, well, shouldn't I just not tell people then? Because then that forces them, it puts the ownership on them to have to figure out how to deal with me when they all along thought they already knew. But then I throw something in there that all of a sudden they don't know anymore. And that makes things confusing. It can take a long time for them to figure out, well, nothing's changed. Just continue to treat me like, or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking that I should stop telling people. That's my thought today. So, anyway, this is what I wrote yesterday. So, and with everything that is happening and everything that is not happening, today was another day that I decided to inform someone that I am autistic, only my 5th or 6th in living practice. There was no immediate precursor, no pretext, context, or subtext. I didn't plan it. I've been wanting to tell them for a little while now, not that I felt I had to explain myself or anything, but that I wanted to be known, felt safe to be known, appreciated to be known. I wanted them to know who, how I actually am. I did introduce the matter as being in honor of World Autism Awareness Day tomorrow, which did get immediate attention that I was being serious, and probably the way I was speaking and body language as though I was trying to escape the situation I was creating, but needed to pursue, to let myself say the words, and they listened. They didn't quite get it. I didn't expect them to. They don't have to. They seemed confused mostly why I was telling them what I was telling them, a bit baffled, concerned, possibly bemused. And I did proceed to give a brief seminar and lecture on the subject of my late diagnosis, my internal dialogues, dialecticals, and diatribes. 5 minutes to sum up my entire approximation of the universe as I encounter it. And then they appeared as though not sure if I required anything from them in return. I sort of walked off to leave them be, closing thought and such, but then walking off. It seemed they needed to process and make sense of it. I wasn't sure if I had crossed some unseen boundary, overshared, made them feel uncomfortable. And they did approach me later, with a few anecdotal items, and trying to be relatable. They did not understand, but they were trying. I saw that. And even before they had a chance to go into the phase of understanding, but you don't look autistic, or everyone is a little autistic, I attempted to relay my entire lifetime's history of difficulties interacting with other human beings. I attempted to educate on the spectrum, too, and about it not being linear. I kept it brief. I don't understand a lot of it myself. By this point, I had just about completely let my mask down, being more like my natural self. Um, I myself a bit shocked and surprised by this turn of occurrences that I myself had initiated. Can I go back and stop myself? No. Dang it. Pressing on. I cannot hurry anyone's understanding, acceptance or non-acceptance, awareness or non-awareness. Whether I had told them about my being autistic or not, they still had been learning about over the course of these past few years what autism looks like. Yes, I am one of the many faces of autism. What happens to all those autistic kids when they grow up? They become autistic adult kids. My friend Barbara took over a year to begin to recognize my autistic identity. At first denying and invalidating that I couldn't be because her own sister was autistic and I am not like her sister, so I'm not autistic. It took her a while to process, to see with new eyes, to open her mind, to let the truth be the truth. I'm going to be how it is the way I am, regardless of anyone else's intervention. I can only keep their experience of my innate nature mild on my better days. Other days, I do have spicy autism, where I am emotionally compromised to the point where I can no longer effectively mask in public spaces. My defenses have failed and I need to go hide, shut down, burn out, or melt down. I can know all these fun facts about myself and my vulnerabilities and susceptibilities, but that does not make me immune to them. I must go away to gather myself up. All of what people see when I am in public spaces comes at the price of all the things I do when I am in private spaces. It is not a matter of learning and adapting to be normal. I can never and will never be. That is a fact. I am the one who lives with it. I choose to live with it. I am learning to be like myself, to accept myself, to not be deterred, dismissed, diminished, devalued, disenfranchised, to not get lost again, lost again, lost again, within, without, and wherewith betweens, becoming oneself, myself, the only one I can be no other. No matter how much the world may beg to differ on so many occasions, it is only my decisive inability to justify and validate my own self-sufficiency. I am the same myself, without and with observation. Knowledge of me is not a prerequisite or conditional aspect of my being me. My agency, merit, and utility, too. I have nothing to prove. I am enough. And if life is a competition, and this is a human race, I'm not winning. That was never in the cards for this one. Not designed for winning. Just being. Just enough. I have not yet begun to write. Taking notes, collecting source material, making connections, telling stories, constructing the memory palace. Architects and composers, aren't we all? I don't know what the story is about. It is a better story than the one I used to be telling. I know this much. So, yeah. So, just, that's it. And today, that was yesterday, on April 1st, which is the beginning of Autism Awareness Month. It's like, what do you even do? It's like, I don't know. And then today's Autism Awareness Day. And it's like, I am recognizing it as by continuing to do what I do, be who I am, and continue to try to learn, grow, develop into being okay with everything. Nothing changes. Everything changes. I find that it's like I've learned pretty much everything I can. I don't know what I don't know yet. But I liked the word that somebody else used about being saturated by too much of other people saying and recycling and regurgitating the same material. It's like about being autistic, and yes, discovering autistic traits, and yes, everybody has it, and yes, yes, yes. And it's like, but, I was new to this too when so it's like I need to hear that stuff. And a lot of other people, they need to be reassured. And it's like, not everybody's like me. And a lot of people, they're in their own little place for, and it's like, I get saturated by it, but other people, they might need that reassurance and comfort and stability of hearing it again and again and again. Whereas it's like, I get it. Yes. And it's like, tell me something new. Tell me something I don't know. And I still see new things or new thoughts from different people, which is cool. But some of the stuff, the memes, the popular stuff, it's like, yes, we are strange. We see things differently. And then the different controversies over ways of speaking, ways of thinking, symbology, and it's like rhetoric. Yeah. So it's like, I get to be me. I don't want to be like any, so it's a thing. But it is nice to see like the different similarities between different people and how we interact and communicate with the world. So, and some of them I find that it's like, oh, well, maybe I should try that and see how that works out. And so I do, and sometimes I adopt it, and sometimes I'm like, well, that just feels kind of no. So, but there's many things that I just let myself start to do because it's like I realize, oh, I have a natural inclination in as far as stimming goes. It's like I want to be able to do that, but I always felt like, oh, I can't because then I'll get caught being weird in public, and then I'll get stared at. And it's like I don't want to get stared at, and I don't want to attract attention to myself, and so it's one of those things, being self-conscious. And I'm cooking. And it's making sense. Anyway, so, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this while I've got food baking. And, oh yeah, and I am on vacation now. Today is Saturday the 2nd. I finished my shift this morning, and I am on vacation until going back to work on the 10th. So I'm thinking about driving up to Wisconsin. And why do I point up when I say Wisconsin? Because it's north, obviously, and north is up, except that north is that way. North is that way. And I'll be going that way, north, northwest. So it's about a 10-hour drive. 9.5 if I just go clear through, but I don't. I like to stop and relax and take some photos of things. Nothing, I don't stop at rest areas. That's what I did last time. Took a bunch of photos. And that was in winter. That was in January of 2021. And it was in between surges of the pandemic. And I made it through the entire pandemic. I didn't get tested once. And I didn't get vaccinated. And I shouldn't be proud of it. But I'm proud of it. Because I didn't really get it. The panic. It's like, because I didn't watch the news. And so it's like, if there was something serious about it, it's like I was relying on people directly around me to let me know that there was something, going on that I needed to pay attention to. But everybody around me seemed mostly okay with stuff. We wore protective things, masks, and we did the social distancing, which I already do all the time anyway. So that wasn't different. And then I spend so much time just by myself, I'm not around other people. So, but the meetings things, we still did the recovery meetings and such. And that was probably not the best idea. But we didn't know what we didn't know. And, somehow, maybe, I don't think it was divine intervention of any kind. I think it was just, I don't know. Different people have different immune systems and things like that. I don't know. I am not endocrinologist. I don't know what the word is. The study of diseases. Epidemiology. No. Epidemiology? Maybe. That's not right. Close. something like that. Anyway, and as far as everything else, I don't know what's going on. I am remaining observant and paying attention, trying to be there, trying to be available, also being accountable. And I haven't been, it didn't seem like I've been let to know that anything else is required of me. Like, just keep doing whatever it is I'm doing in whatever way I'm doing it. And like, I'm just officially, like, it feels like just officially just friend zoned, and not much extra thought is given as far as like changing the situation. It's like the status quo is the status quo, and so if I am personally looking for something different, it's like, so I don't know. And I'll just continue, if something changes, something changes. I just have the feeling that I'm not being told stuff. And that whole not being told stuff it doesn't help. And the fact that I've been able to figure out as much as I have been, it's like, that's just me being, I don't know, weird. Or reading things into the stuff that I want to read into it based on a history of observation and putting things together, and it's like somehow I've arrived at this weird picture of how things I think they are. And it's like, because there are certain things that, well, if this is true, then this should happen when I do this, and then it does happen. So I was like, wait, is it happening for other reasons than the ones that I think that are happening? The whole correlation and causation thing. And it's just like, or are they just being polite and cordial? Because I know they have a habit of doing that. Even when they're really upset and angry, they're still going to be cordial, unless you really, just like me. So I try to treat them as being like me, which isn't always the best course of action, but it's the best way I've been able to think of it. And it seems like mostly it's a fair assessment, because I like to be treated like a certain way, and approached a certain way, and talked to a certain way, with respect, with dignity, not with presumption and assertion and domination. No. I don't like that sort of thing. So it's like, I want to be treated a certain way. So I try to treat them in the same way. And the whole be kind. It's like I'm trying to take instruction, follow direction. That's, if they wanted somebody to be a jerk, there's enough jerks out there and assholes. So I think, if anything, if I am needed to be a friend, I am and can be a friend, even if that's all it is. So, and it's like, what I like to see more. Yeah, it really logistically, it would be difficult, but I'd still, if I was ever told to go, let's go, let's do this, let's do something, let's talk, I would be there. I'd be all about it. But that hasn't happened. So it's like, I'm just kind of still. So, and that's okay with me at this time. So anyway, my food should just be about to be getting done, so I should probably go ahead and close this out. I might make another video later, because it is World Autism Awareness Day. And there's like a Wikipedia page and everything. But it's really gets into a lot of, I'm not sure exactly how, insulting it is or not, or is it enabling of stigmatization and stereotype. Oh, there's my food. So, I gotta follow the alarm. So that makes for a good cutoff point. So, yeah. Okay, well, until next time.